invite on stage Mr. Ayaan Ali Bangash and Mr. Amaan Ali Bangash, noted sarod maestros and composers. Mr. Jimmy Tangree, head 91.9 Friends FM, and a member of the executive committee of CMA. Professor Biju Paul Abraham, Dean Academic, IIM Calcutta. Mr. Gautam Ray, President, Calcutta Management Association. To come on stage to light the lamp while the Saraswati Vandana shall be played to seek blessing. Thank you. May I now request Mr. Gautam Ray, President, Calcutta Management Association, to deliver the welcome address, please.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and the young students who have come all the way and to listen this program. This is considered one of the finest programs I have seen in my life. In fact, shaping the young minds, that idea has been originated, incubated by Aima, All India Management Association, and Calcutta Management Association has been entrusted to organize this program in Calcutta. Today we will have the distinguished speakers, Mr. Ayaan Ali Bangash and Mr. Amaan Ali Bangash, well-known sarod masters and composers. I think they need no introduction. Mr. Bineet Agarwal, Managing Director of Transport Corporation of India Limited. Mr. Mohandas Pai, Chairman, Manipal Global Education Services Limited. And Mr. Arun Lal, former Indian cricketer and cricket commentator. All of them are quite eminent in their own field and is a national figure. The main theme and the objective of this event, we believe the young generation who have come to attend this program will shape up the future of the nation. The nation will be in your hand tomorrow. And so this is probably one of the opportunity, the greatest opportunity to get exposed to such success stories. You will find that eminent speakers who will be present here. The picture what we'll see today, it's not all. There have been long struggle behind this. There have been ups and downs. There have been success, there have been pains. So listening to them, to get motivated with how they have achieved is definitely an one-time unique opportunity. And we wish that lot of interaction should take place. And to facilitate that process more effectively, the design of the program is such that we have invited some eminent personalities who also have their success stories in life, who have managed large businesses, who have managed large organizations, to moderate, to facilitate each of the session. So together it is a well thought and designed event which will provide you the opportunity to get exposed to such success stories which can enthuse you, motivate you in your life. And also we have tried to bring personalities from different walk of life. The traditional concept of getting success in only the core industrial base is no more there. You can have success in every walk of life. And that is the beauty, that is the challenge of today's world. So, by design, not by default, we have invited eminent personalities from different walk of life, from culture, from hard industry, from academia, from HR perspective, and also from the sports. What more diversity you can feel when you will listen to all these speakers. Just 2 or 3 points on Calcutta Management Association. I feel proud in saying that this is the oldest management association in the country. Founded in 1957 by Sir Jahangir Gandhi, the then director of Tata Iron and Steel Company. This is also had got affiliated with Aima, All India Management Association. We have a strong network all over the country. We organize various programs in form of seminars, symposium, flagship programs, Sir Jahangir Memorial Gandhi Lecture, Calcutta Management Summit, Management Excellence Award, and also we have a strong outreach program to campus. So this is an opportunity for CMA also, and we feel honored for getting this opportunity to organize such an event. We are grateful to Professor Shoibal Chattopadhyay, Director of IIM, and also to Professor Abraham, the Dean of IIM, who is present here, who has spared his valuable time to be with us today, for allowing us to host this program in this very prestigious and national level institution. We thank you all who have been present here with an appeal to get yourself associated with CMA in the form of membership, in the form of activities, be it in your institution, be it at your individual level, or whenever you will entering into your career. I conclude and again convey my sincere thanks to all of you and welcome.
Thank you, Mr. A. May I now have the privilege of requesting Professor Biju Paul Abraham, Dean Academic, IIM Calcutta, to address the gathering, please.
Good morning to all of you. Mr. Gautam Ray, President of the Calcutta Management Association, distinguished speakers, distinguished delegates to this program, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome all of you to IIM Calcutta for this Shaping Young Minds program. IIM Calcutta has a mission, and the mission of the institute is to advance the theory and practice of management. And we always feel that shaping young minds is something that we do day in and day out, because that is what we are for. And we are always happy to be associated with any program where young minds are shaped and they get an opportunity to meet distinguished leaders in their professions and get to know more about the latest advances in various fields of management and in other related areas. We are, of course, always happy to be associated with events like this, and it's good to see so many sort of guests from outside and students from outside coming into the campus for this program, which we have every year. It would be remiss on my part if I did not mention a few things about IIM Calcutta itself. I know many of you are here for the first time. IIM Calcutta was one of the first of the institutes of management to be set up. We were set up in 1961 as a postgraduate institute of management in association with the Ford Foundation, with the Sloan School of Management in the US, and also Indian industry and the West Bengal government. We originally started in North Calcutta in Barakpur, but shifted here to this campus in 1974 when the West Bengal government donated this piece of land here. We are well known for our 2-year MBA program, or what we call the Postgraduate Diploma in Management program. But that is not the only thing that we do, in the sense that we have the 2-year program. We have a couple of 1-year executive MBA programs. We also have a large number of executive training programs which we run on campus. And we have a large number of online long-duration programs as well. So our association with management education is not just in terms of the students that we bring in. There is a wider world outside that we interact with as well in terms of management education, both through online education and also through consultancy and training services that we provide for industry. Over the years, we feel we have done reasonably well. IIM Calcutta is currently the only institute in India which is triple accredited, in the sense that we are ranked by the 3 major international accreditation agencies around the world, AACSB, AMBA, and ICWIS. And we are also the only Indian member of the SEMS Global Alliance of Business Schools. We are primarily a national institute, in the sense that most of our students are national. But we also do have a large number of partnerships with business schools abroad, almost 90 of them. And we are also now increasingly entering into international rankings as well. So we are, for example, among the top 25 in the Masters in Management programs in the world. And in the FT Global MBA rankings, which came out last year, we for the first time entered the FTA 100 in terms of the 100 best business schools in the world. So I think we have done reasonably well, and we are always striving to do even better. With that introduction, let me welcome all of you once again to this program. I know you have a panel of very distinguished speakers that are before you today, and I'm sure you will have a wonderful, very enjoyable, and very productive program. Thank you very much once again, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Professor Abraham. On behalf of All India Management Association and Calcutta Management Association, we welcome you all again to Shaping Young Minds program. This unique and innovative program was started by AIMA about 13 years ago. During this period, it has been conducted across the country in different cities, and each time it has received an overwhelming responses and has been a very stimulating experience for the participants. This is the 6th edition of SYMP in Kolkata, the first program of its kind having been held in the year 2004. As you all know by now, but just to recapitulate, the 5 distinguished speakers who shall address today are Mr. Amaan Ali Bangash and Mr. Ayaan Ali Bangash, Mr. Vineet Agarwal, Managing Director, Transport Corporation of India Limited, Mr. Mohandas Pai, Chairman, Manipal Global Education Services Limited, and Senior Vice President, AIMA, and Mr. Arun Ral, former Indian cricketer and cricketer commentator. The uniqueness of this program is that these distinguished speakers will not have any lecture sessions with you, but they will be sharing their life stories, their successes, experiences, failures, challenges, supports, guidance, etc. that they have received in the journey called life, how they have reached where they are today. We can assure you that at the end of today's program, all of us will go back much enriched and enlightened. Let me now explain the format of the program to you. Each speaker will speak for about 30 minutes and then answer questions for about 45 minutes. For the question-answer session, we will have 8 panelists for each of the sessions on the dais, who will be given the opportunity to ask the questions first, and then the floor will be open to others. I would request you to make your questions brief and focused. Roaming mics will reach you as soon as you raise your hands, but please wait for the moderator to give you the floor. We will now commence the first session of SYMP Kolkata with Mr. Amaan Ali Bangash and Mr. Ayaan Ali Bangash as the speakers. Mr. Jimmy Tangree, Head 91.9 Friends FM and a member of the Executive Committee of CMA as the session moderator. Before we request our dignitaries to be seated on the dais, I would request the 8 student panelists to please be seated on the respective chairs on the stage. I would again request everyone to please switch off your mobiles or put them on silent mode. It is my privilege to invite on stage Mr. Amaan Ali Bangash and Mr. Ayaan Ali Bangash as the speakers of the first session, and Mr. Jimmy Tangree as the session moderator. Before I hand over the proceeding to Mr. Tangree, I have the pleasure of formally introducing him to you all. Mr. Jimmy Tangree hails from a business family, and his love for music got him into DJing and radio. He has done opening acts for Dr. Alban, Tata Young, Bryan Adams, Paul Oakenfold, etc., and has conducted major shows in Kolkata, Delhi, Mumbai, Goa, etc. Mr. Tangree has also conducted workshops on radio in IIM, Pailan, NSHM, Symbiosis, St. Xavier's, and other reputed institutions. His expertise has also given him opportunities of setting up radio stations not only in India but internationally also. He joined Times FM, an initiative of Times of India Group, in 1994 as Deputy Manager Programming and Production. He not only supervised the production and programming team in Kolkata, but was also responsible for conceptualizing programs and monitoring all technical aspects. He conducted workshops, formulated marketing strategies, and was a radio jockey for a few specialized shows, for example, Britannia Little Hearts, Love is on the Air, Power Dance, which was sponsored by Eveready for 3 years in 5 centers. In June 2000, he joined Saregama Broadcast Software as National Head, Programming Broadcast Software Division. He was not just responsible for programming, budgeting, formulating various strategies, but also for setting up 4 studios in metro cities and its overall operation control. This multifaceted spirit joined Radio Today Kolkata, now Digital Radio Kolkata Broadcasting Limited, in May 2002 as a station head, Red FM 93.5 Kolkata. He was a part of the national core team. He was responsible for all the programming, marketing, sales, budgeting, and strategy formulation of the station. Currently, he's head 91.9 Friends FM since April 2014 and is looking after the entire operations, business, and programming of the station. I now hand over the proceedings to Mr. Jimmy Tangree to take the program forward.
Thank you so much. Truly appreciate the introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful morning it is. And trust me, it's not going to be serious, okay? The first session is all about music, a lot of it, you know. And we have amazing personalities. In fact, when I walked in and, you know, I overheard a couple of ladies talking that they are looking forward to be interacting with Ayaan and Amaan. It's a beautiful morning. And once again, a warm welcome to all of you all on this beautiful day. And Aima, and along with CMA, presenting Shaping Young Minds program. It's not about, as rightly said, कि यार एक lecture सुनेगा, एक life history सुनेगा. Everyone in life has gone through a lot. There are successes, there are failures, there are those moments which actually change the direction in our lives. I come from a business family, and here I am into DJing and heading a radio station. People, the thoughts, the efforts, and the dreams, people live it. And today, with this session, we are going to be hearing a lot behind the scenes. You know, I did a little bit of research on these amazing personalities. First of all, Aman and Ayaan, a big hello to you guys. And it's such a pleasure having you with us here.
Thank you for having us here. And thank you, all of you. It's a pleasure coming here. And
absolutely. You know, before I just give a little introduction to these champions of Sarod, I'm just curious. Why every time when both of you walk onto the stage, any stage, whether it be lecture or playing the Sarod, I hear this from all the girls. I mean, why? What is the reason behind it? I'm just curious.
I think you're being too kind and generous with your words. I think it is all the music. I think it's your work. Eventually your work, I think, transcends into who you are. So
okay.
I think that's what it is.
And Aman?
Just overwhelmed. I don't know. I mean, I hope that always stays like that.
It'll surely. Girls, what do you say about this? Do you think it'll always stay like that? I'm not saying it, they're saying it. Okay,
Thank
guys.
you so much. You're very kind.
You know, they're seriously down to earth. One of the finest sarod players on earth. And a little bit about them. You know, of course, we all know that their dad, Sarod Masterio Ustad Amjad Ali Khan, is one of the finest players on earth. And, of course, grandsons of Ustad Hafiz Ali Khan. They belong to the 7th generation in an unbroken chain of senior Bangash school. They were initiated by the father into the fine art of sarod playing and gave their first public performance at a very young age. You know, many of us may be learning how to walk that time when they were actually strumming on the sarod and going about with it.
I think I honestly did not know what I was doing, to be honest. So I think music happened to me much later. I'd gone to a regular school like everybody over here. And in a school, I used to feel that I'm the odd man out because everybody came from a background of being a lawyer, a CA, businessman, or, you know, a store, like they had a store or something. But it came very late. I think by the time I was about 13 or 14, that's when music actually, I got into it.
But Amaan, just a question, you know. We all at a young age, I wanted to be in the army. I wanted to actually knock out all the bad men when I was young. You know, I said, yaar, main kuch karna chahta hu. And that's why actually I did 27 years of martial arts, trying to make myself tough. So what was your initial dream before you actually decided you were actually put into the line of saying, yaar, sarod bajana hi hai?
Well, as a kid, I was very intrigued by the whole thing about being into cricket, being a commercial air pilot. I still follow. That's people don't know about that about me, is that I'm very much into aircrafts and, you know, into aviation. I love that. I really wanted to be a pilot.
Okay, you wanted to be a pilot, so when
and
you were
fly
told,
high.
Okay, and fly, you are flying high, you know, with a lot of music, I'm sure of that. And
Was been kind. That's
so ek cheez puchna
wrong
hai
way to-
here. When you wanted to be a pilot, you had a dream you wanted to live. You know, jaise hote rehta hai with all of us. And when you were told, how did the initiation start? You know, what got you excited? Because it was a family legacy. And in a lot of cases, you know, dad's a doctor, so the son becomes a doctor. Dad's an engineer, son becomes an engineer. Now these days, of course, people are moving in various directions. So how was it for you? Like, what lit the fire that you suddenly got into it and you super excelled into it?
I think when you're born into a musician's family, it's like you're born right in the middle of the ocean. You've got to swim. There's no other.
Okay. And how well did you swim?
I'm still swimming.
Okay, you're still swimming.
Yeah.
So,
But the thing is that initially I really didn't enjoy it, to be honest, because when anything is forced upon you, like my mother and father didn't force it, but definitely I used to go for music concerts. I used to go for any social gatherings. I would always be asked that, you know, we've heard your grandfather, we've heard your father. When do we get a chance to hear you? So that itself was a bit of a pressure for me.
so I'm just curious, when you were young, were you so handsome?
I'm still young.
Okay. Okay, he's still young. I said, when you were young, okay, when you're still young and when you were younger, were you as cute looking as you are now?
I think I'm like wine. The older I'm getting more matured.
Okay. You know, Amaan had his take on how it started off. And I really want to know what's your story. Did you also want to become a pilot? Or did you want to, fly high in aircrafts?
No, I think we were extremely fortunate that, we were born in a family where I think the language spoken was music, the air we were breathing was music. I mean, it was not something outside the box. I mean, it was something as normal as having a glass of water or having a meal. But having said that, I mean, there was a lot of... the atmosphere at home was extremely musical. Even if my father was traveling, there was someone or the other at home, my father's senior disciples and all of that. Music was constantly being played in the house. So we got that atmosphere. And for some reason, I think I was very clear that I want to be a musician. I mean, I was no Mozart. I was not a great musician. But the thing is that I think I every child looks at the father and hero worships the father. So I would, try to imitate him with his shawls. I would use the duster in the house to cover my feet. And I would, he used to wear glasses back then on stage. I would have those plastic glasses on. So I would do all those things, but it's only later I realized that it was not about just sitting on stage. I mean, we were performing from the time we were about 8 and 10 or around that age. But again, I mean, once you reach a certain age, I mean, like Amaan bhai said, at about 14, 15, we were professionally performing. And then you realize that you have to deliver at a certain level or to a certain level. So then obviously then there's that whole retrospect you do and that journey begins. And it's a very long journey.
Just tell me, Dad, Abba is iconic. He's absolutely there. So when you started off, wasn't that little pressure, yaar? How will I reach that standard? What are the expectations of the people? He is the supermaster. So, the expectations are always there. Didn't you feel a little pressure? Ki yaar, thoda sa tension ki, yaar, Dad is there. I hope, I can do as good, or I hope I can do better, or hope I can reach some stage. Pressure hote rehte, and this happens among all the young crowd, basically.
I mean, I think it's always good to have some level of pressure for sure. But in our case, I think it was a big honor because, you knew you're going to be compared only to the best. So but again, I think both of us, in all humility, have always tried to not take the stage for granted. We've always tried to give our best. Even today, when we are performing at concerts, we really put in a lot of effort when we are doing our solos or duets to try and deliver to the best of our ability.
I'm just curious, when you say a lot of effort, each line, whether you be a musician, whether you be a CA, whether you be a marketing head, it requires a lot of effort. Now, if I have to look at the kind of effort you guys put in behind the concert, give us a little peek into your kya hota hai. Itna practice ki just chilled out, boss. Let's go and enjoy the show. Or is it a lot of practice?
What really happens that you can be a student or a son of or a daughter of whoever, but end of the day you have to do a lot of hard work. Because when Ayaan bhai and I were born, and initially it was amazing. We enjoyed all the importance, attention, everything we enjoyed. But now it's like a payback time where we were lucky because being sons of Ustad Amjad Ali Khan Sahab, what happens that you're born with goodwill. So we were criticized about the fact that, these are, they've not struggled. How will they become musicians? Because quote-unquote musicians are apparently, supposedly, you only become one if you struggle, an artist. But having everything around us, we could have ensured a very secured life, being a doctor, a lawyer, or open a business or something. But we still chose to be musicians, where you can be a son or a daughter of, as I said, whoever, but that doesn't assure you to be a star yourself or a good musician.
I think especially in the creative field, you see, because the future is very uncertain.
Absolutely.
And the other thing, the question you had asked, Ayaan bhai, was...
basically,
the journey, the effort,
and the pressure
practice,
before a show.
So I was just coming to that. So when I have realized this, I realized it very early in life that it's okay. You don't have to compete with your father or your teacher. These are legends. Okay, now Tendulkar having his son, he doesn't have to compete with him. So I took it as an honor that I'm born to this family. I should not be the cause of his embarrassment. We can just tweet that a bit on a different side, that I can't be bigger than Ustad Amjad Ali Khan Sahab or, all these greats like Pandit Ravi Shankar or all these people who have been there. So, but what we can do, I would like to put myself as youngsters, what we can do is not be a cause of embarrassment to our teacher and our parents.
Okay, I'm just curious. When the first time you held a sarod, I mean, you don't remember, you remember. You don't remember.
I have vague memories.
Were you tense? Were you scared? Or what was the feeling? I'm just curious. Whatever little bit you remember.
I'm scared today when I'm sharing the stage, when I accompany my father, when I'm sharing the stage with my younger brother. what I get scared is, you know, he's a fantastic artist himself. My father is a legend. So when I'm playing with them, I get very intimidated.
Ayaan, what do you have to say to that? He gets intimidated.
See, I think at that age you're pretty much strumming. I mean, you know, it's more like I mean, the instrument, I think, grew as we grew up as well. You know, the size of the instrument kept becoming bigger.
Okay.
But the thing is, I think today, when we are on stage, it's with my father, I mean, it's just an honor to be on stage with him. There's, I think, a sense of reverence, a sense of gratitude that, you know, you are in this... you've done something in your life, or maybe in your last life, that, you know, you are the person you are. And with my brother and me, I think because your music kind of, I think, your nature reflects onto you on stage. Your music is who you are. So I think because we are brothers, I think we know each other, we know each other's mind, we know each other's temperament. So we try to collectively make a beautiful bouquet of flowers together.
Okay, beautiful bouquet. I'm just want to ask you the question. I've seen, you know, whether it be a tabla player, whether it be any, this style, is it a style, long hair, you know, generally when you'll kind of play, I mean, is it a kind of style which is prevalent?
I have short hair, so I'm not in that.
I mean, my hair was short earlier, then it just grew and I just stopped cutting it. So, I mean...
Why did you stop cutting it? I'm just curious.
I liked some movement in my head when I was playing, yeah. So, I want to know that I'm not alone on stage.
Okay. He wants to know you're not alone on stage. You have short hair. How do you feel about it?
You know, kya hota hai, as you grow older, you're lucky that baal hai.
Yeah,
forget long
you're
or
talking
short.
right.
I'm very happy that God's given me what. So, you know, yeah. So I think it was not a effort. Like, he has his own.
He has
We've been given
it organically happened.
So one guy, एक कोई आए थे concert पे, तो he saw Ayaan bhai and me. He says that आप दोनों को देखकर मुझे कोई movie याद आई. ऐसे कौन सी movie? कहते एक विनोद खन्ना एक धर्मेंद्र है. I'm like अच्छा ठीक.
So who was the Vinod Khanna? And you were the Dharmendra. So you are the tough Jugnu type of guy.
Not Jugnu, but yeah, for sure the tougher one, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, amazing. Talking about going through life, we all have our successes. We all have our failures. Which is that one moment in life which you were saying, what the hell am I doing? You know, मैं ये क्यों कर रहा हूँ? Something which, you know, you were not, you know, you were well within you, wanted to kind of burst. Like, for example, there are a lot of students.
That was when he was getting married in the mandap.
You are married?
What am I doing?
Oh, I give it away.
Okay, now one sec. How did it happen? A marriage, I mean.
Well, my wife's from Mumbai, and we met in a common friend's house many moons ago.
Okay.
And then
many moons
ago. So then, we were in a long distance relationship, and then all flights were via Bombay. I'm going to Calcutta from Delhi. It's via Bombay. Bangalore was via Bombay. Everything was via Bombay.
So you're a very romantic person.
Yeah. So I think after a year and a half, almost 2 years, you know, I thought that rather than giving extra miles to the airlines, we should just get married. So,
okay. So who took the first step?
No, I did, of course.
You did.
I
and
did.
What was the thought? Did you propose to her playing the sarod or something like that?
No, I mean,
how did you do it? I'm just curious.
The thing is that, you know, the funny thing is when Nima and I were dating, because she's not from a classical background, but she enjoys music. She at least likes what I do. So in classical music, we have a term called gamak, where you are kind of moving between notes. It's a musical ornamentation. Like, is
that how he proposed?
No. So she was listening to one of my albums which I presented, and she told me while she was listening that the CD is skipping when this was happening. I said, no, it's not skipping. It's technically very difficult to do in the sarod.
So tell me, one thing is, when she heard the CD, she was a little confused, it's skipping. So how did you kind of initiate her into, no, it's not skipping and this is how the music plays?
No, I think she started attending all my shows in Bombay when Amaan, when we were all performing. I think she kind of, classical music isn't something to understand. I think it has to be just appreciated, you know. So
Achha,
I think
I'm
that's
just curious, when you all are together, alone, do both of you all play the sarod?
No, I think I'm pulling more of the strings, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
I'm still looking for a destination.
He's still looking.
Which city I should go through.
Okay. I'm just curious, you know, if any of you ladies had the opportunity, would you propose to Amaan?
Is this...
Can I have some noise?
Is it shadi.com or something?
Yes.
Wherever I come.
All of them are saying yes. And it's wonderful. Now, in this journey, there are tough times and there are easy times and there are brilliant times. What has been the tough time for you? And how did you get across to it? You know, because you had already decided, boss, I'm into Sarod, I'm playing it. So what was this journey? Where were the tough hit-outs which came into your life?
So as I said, music, strangely, honestly, I think destiny, I would not say found me, but it had to be, I guess. I tried a lot of things initially. But then I got into music and I started enjoying it. But as a musician, even today, I'm a big fan of the instrument sarod. And I respect all the sarod players, apart from my father. Obviously, he's my guru, my teacher. I'm a very insecure musician because I feel that everybody around me is far more better. But I feel that it's just God's been very kind. Because my father always says that do not be, and this is for everybody here, for all the elders sitting here. So my father always says that it's not important to be the best musician, but it's very important to be one of the best human beings. Because that carries,
Absolutely.
that takes it forward. Because you might go to a restaurant and you might not like the food, but the way you're served, you might want to go there again. But you can go to the most amazing restaurant and if the server's battamiz, you'll never go there.
Absolutely.
So it's as simple as that. So for all students and everybody, I think it's very important to be a good human being and everything will just go through.
Absolutely.
What we were discussing backstage before we came, I think the mantra taught to us also, I mean, see, there's no dearth of brilliance. You can achieve brilliance by hard work and practice. But I think that one quotient that makes things special for all Indians at least, I mean, we believe it, is blessings. I think blessings are something so important. So that's why to have blessings of your teacher, your guru, your parents, you know, all this quotient is extremely important. That gives, I think, every human being that extra quotient of maybe success or maybe peace. It could be eternal peace or external peace, whatever you want to call it. But we really believe in that.
But that's the mantra, because I feel if you actually start noticing, nobody somewhere has not made it. But if the mantra is correct, that's patience, hard work, humility. If you have these three things in you, nothing can stop you. But Absolutely. If you miss out one thing, there will be something that will... And I always believe you should never criticize people. You should always see the best in them, because everybody has something good in them. To be critical is very easy. It's very easy. I can say that, oh, you know, something or the other, right? But to appreciate everybody is that all okay?
Yeah, I think all is okay. But there was an earthquake in Delhi yesterday. Don't worry, nothing's happening here. Nothing's happening here just now. So, one moment in life where, while performing, or any other moment, may not be just a performing moment, where you're really proud of yourself that, yes, I am heading towards a direction, I am happy. You know, that happiness within you because you've done something well or you achieved something. Any kind of achievement angle which came across, which you were very happy?
For me, the biggest compliment always is if my father, mother, or Ayaan bhai, after a show, my father would say, "Acha bajai," or my mother said, "I'm proud of you," or Ayaan bhai would say, "Fantastic," or whatever. So that's a very, you know, that is everything. I'm not a person who generally people think that, you know, tareef kar do to he'll like it. I'm very aware of what I am, what I do, and how much more I have to work on. Because there's such amazing and talented people all around you. It makes me very humble.
So if I have to ask you, what is the best compliment you've got till date, other than family? What would you have to say? I mean, I'm talking, it could be anything, not just playing music. It could be you're hot to look at, or you're so cute to look at. I mean, I'm just curious. You know, you don't have to confine it to only the playing angle, but anything. What is the best compliment you've got till date?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm still not married, so obviously it's.
Well,
I've not got the best. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question, but I've been very lucky. I think people have always given me a lot of love and affection.
Amazing.
Getting selfies and you're like, wow.
You've got a lot of love and affection, and since you are single, I'm going to ask you this very direct dil se question.
Personal question.
Yeah. So, being a musician, being talented, being creative, if you had to propose to a girl you like, how would you do it? Your brother did it in style. I mean...
I just asked.
Honestly, I'm serious about it.
Down on the knees and all of that. Is what?
Will you play this or no?
No, I would be like, you know, it's about time. Where the hell were you? I mean, कहाँ थे? इतने दिन से देखा नहीं मुझे. But I don't know. I'm actually a very spontaneous person.
Okay.
I don't think before I do anything.
Okay.
Even with my music or it's me as a person. One day you'll see me playing cricket. The other day you'll see me doing horse riding. The third you'll see me somewhere.
But you said you don't think before you do anything. Because of this, have you ever landed in trouble? You're not thinking what you're doing and then suddenly, you know, kuch hua.
All the time. I think my family has given up on me. My mother and father keep telling me talk a lot.
Do you talk a lot?
Off
Does
stage,
he talk a lot?
Off stage.
Well, he has something to say on everything.
Ayaan, amazing performances year after year, day after day. What is that one moment in life you'll never forget? I know that one moment in life is when wife said yes. I'm sure you'll never forget that. But other than that, what is that one thing which kind of remains in you? Because me being in radio, me being from a business family, there are certain moments in life I still remember, I can never forget, you know, in my journey. So something like this which has happened with you.
I mean, in a creative field, it's such a long journey. So you were just talking about, you know, happy with any concert kind of a thing. I think you would definitely know as an artist when you've had a good concert or a bad concert. But even when I've had a good concert, I've never been happy or satisfied with what I've delivered. I always feel that it has to be better, it has to be better. And that one defining moment, there's so many. I can't take one moment because it could be the first time I played a solo. It could be, you know, maybe when my kids were born, or maybe the first time when, you know, my parents, you know, the first time we played in Carnegie Hall together. You know, there's so many moments. I can't pin down just one.
I think as a family, the biggest moment was, I remember we were in the hospital and when Ayaan bhai's kids arrived, Zohan and Abir. So we were downstairs.
Twins, by the way.
We had twins, amazing.
That's the other problem because bachpan se everyone thinks we are twins. We are not twins.
But we are not. But I
He's
had
2 years
twins.
younger. But I said, jis din isko twins hue, I said, guy. Ab to pakka, it's confirmed that we are also twins because like, but I think when my father called me up and I remember very clearly and he said, aapke bhatije aa gaye. So, you know, that for me was like something has happened, something has changed. I think something has happened now. Now there is responsibility that has just suddenly arrived in his life for sure.
I think it must have been the happiest moment.
Yeah, I mean, but like I said, there's so many. I mean, I think we are a very close-knit family, so I think all our happy moments or sad moments have been quite collective.
Together.
Yeah, it's
Just
always
together.
been that way. Yeah.
And my father has forgotten Ayaan bhai and me. That's only Zohan and Abir.
It always
24/7.
happens, don't worry.
Super it is.
Y'all have performed all over the world, in Spain lately, in China, going all over the world, different cultures, different audience, in India performing a lot. How has the feeling been? Because, you know, different thought processes, different assumption to music, new to a lot of people across the world, familiar to a lot of people also. How has that journey been? Because it's not just been in India, but across the world.
I think it's a learning process, you know, because when you travel, when you do these cross-cultural concerts and when you travel abroad, it just humbles you down because it's because of the music that, you know, we go everywhere. Because of the sarod, we go everywhere. It's not because of who he is or who I am or, I mean, we're nobody without an instrument. So I think it's just very, it's nice, you know, and, but to play in India, is very challenging. I think Bahar Jakar Bajana is not that difficult, honestly, because I think there's over here people understand music. They are, they have opinions, which is a very good thing.
Opinions, yeah.
Opinions, which is a very good thing. But when you go abroad, it's more relaxed for sure. It's more like a holiday because you're playing in the house or you're playing somewhere
You're playing
outside.
internationally.
Gee, so yeah.
No, but I think even all across the world, I think be it the US, Europe, I mean, they've been exposed to the best in the field. I mean, they've heard the masters. I mean, they have, heard, all the greats that India has heard. And, classical music, because it's an oral tradition, it's not a written art form. So everything that we do happens right there and then on stage. And when we've collaborated with Western classical musicians, we have to come out of our comfort level because they read music, they have a written score. So, we've collaborated with so many violinists, guitarists, with so many orchestras as well.
Talking about collaboration, you'll have released certain albums and you're working on your second album, I've been told, or maybe, how has been the experience? Because y'all are so used to performing live on stage, and then suddenly, you are getting into that recording of albums and creating music where you will not be live, but people will be listening to you. So how did it all start off?
I mean, we've recorded a lot of albums, I think, but for Amaan Bhai and me, it was very important for us to establish ourselves first as Indian classical musicians, because that's who we are, and that's who we want to be always known as. But having said that, we reached a point when we started doing a lot of experimental work. We did albums like Reincarnation, Truth, Mystic Dunes, thematic albums, and we did something for the fashion world.
You did something for the fashion world. Means ramp walk on Sarod tunes, or...
We made an album for a friend, a designer friend, and it was mainly the kind of music you hear in the ramp, that kind of a thing. So many other things now. Recently with the violinist, now we are releasing something this February with Afghani rabab player, So we are doing interesting things, but again, these are all musical tributaries. We are still very much Indian classical musicians, and that's how we want to be known.
Okay, Indian classical musicians, that's the way you want to be known. I'm just curious, you're so into music. You sleep, eat, walk, talk music. What are your hobbies and what do you do other than music if you have spare time? I mean...
After you.
After you. You seem to be leading the way other than music.
No, so obviously, like everybody else, I have friends. I go out with them.
Special friends?
Friends.
Okay.
Good friends. I like working out. I go to the gym. I need to lose some, but yeah.
You've got that Dharmendra physique, absolutely.
Thank you, but I want to get leaner. Apart from that, horse riding sometimes. I trained in polo a bit of. I don't play polo matches, but I've trained playing. I have friends who are polo players. I do that a bit. Then football with friends on Sundays.
You're quite a gaming person, huh?
I'm into my own games, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're into your own games. Any specific games? Other than polo and football and cricket? Tennis, okay.
Table tennis. I've always been into sports. Always.
Okay, amazing.
I enjoy sports.
So that's the secret.
I've fractured. So Sarod, you play with you have to hold the plectrum. But everyone holds it like this. But because I've fractured my thumb twice.
How did you do that?
I fell down while playing football, and my father didn't talk to me for 2-3 weeks. But in fact, that worked as an advantage for me, so I can get a better grip of my plectrum. Yeah. So anyway, so I still keep doing everything which I should not.
I'm just curious.
Riding bikes.
Okay, you keep doing everything you should not. Riding bikes and what else?
You'll not get the answer what you want, but riding bikes.
No, I'm not saying. What about you? I mean, how do you manage to kind of spend a little time?
It was different earlier, but now that I'm a family man, I really, when I'm not traveling, I really value spending time with the family, and that's, But apart from that, I do write a lot. My brother and I have co-authored 2 books in the past. So I really enjoy writing a lot, and I do sketch once in a while, and I do go out too. I don't have too many friends, but I do step out as and when I feel like. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. I've been asking quite a few questions, and we have 4 plus 4, 8 of you all. And I'm sure they must be like, "Mujhe puchna hai." So what I'll do is, since we have two really handsome guys on stage here on my left and my right, and there's a line in Bengal, ladies first. You know, Kolkata te, when you get onto a bus, ladies first. Anyway, it's ladies first. So I would, from my right-hand side, any lady who wants to ask a question, and then I'll go on to the... Oh, there are 4 ladies on my left-hand side, okay.
Please do introduce yourself,
Yes,
your name, all of you
absolutely.
actually. And
You know, and each one of you are going to be asking a question, but you know, you can introduce yourself with a charming smile and go ahead and ask a question.
So, good morning, sir.
morning.
Is your mic on? Just check. Volume.
Good morning, sir. I'm Shagorika Ray. I have one important question. I mean, it goes for both of you.
Yeah.
That how important do you think it's to identify your passion in early life?
I think, see, some people are very fortunate when they can identify what they are doing or what they want to do. You're asking the wrong person, honestly, because it took me a lot of time to understand who I am and why am I playing Sarod and is it something I'm going to enjoy doing in the future. So for me, it came late, but I think it's very important. I mean, I would have gained much more if music came to me 5 years before. I mean, this is my...
I think it does make a difference. I mean, of course, you could perhaps find yourself at any point of time in life. I think the times we are living in, it's never too late to...
Start.
I mean,
Yes.
Captain Nair, he started the Leela group of hotels when he was 80 years old. 70 years old, sorry, 70 years old. But what I'm saying, relatively, you know, later in life. So I think, but sooner, if you're focused, then it's great. But even if you're not, you might find your calling a little later. But I think what's important is to be passionate about whatever you're doing in life.
You're doing,
Otherwise,
right.
if you're not passionate and you just, you know, are doing it for the heck of it, then you're doing it, but then it's not, you know, that
From your heart.
that warmth will not be there,
warmth
for
will
sure, in any field.
Great, that was great.
Thank you, sir.
Did you get your answer?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, I do agree with this, you know. You should love what you're doing. And if you love what you're doing and passionate about it, sometime in life you're going to be excelling. And it'll work, you know. But if you're not enjoying something, like suppose, for example, you've been told to become a chartered accountant because your dad's a chartered accountant. And if you're not enjoying it, then you have a problem in life. So,
As they say, joto mot, toto pot, right?
yes. Well, the lady with the mic, please go ahead and ask your question.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
My name is Akanksha Singh. My question to you is, if you had not been a Sarod player, then what you would have been?
I told you, commercial air pilot.
So you?
I think definitely in some creative field. Yeah, because I'm, you know, I'm in my own zone. I like doing things my way. So I think, yeah, maybe in something creative. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, amazing. And okay, that poor guy's been holding the mic right from the beginning. So it's your chance now.
Good morning, sir. My
morning.
name is Bidhan Das. My question to you is that in 2002, you have both co-authored a book, Abba God's Greatest Gift to Us. And again, in 2010, you co-authored the second book of yours, is 50 Masters and 50 Recordings. So I would like to ask you exactly what motivated you to write a book, sir?
You know, I'm going to be very honest. It was Ayaan who wrote the book. Actually, he's the one who did all the homework and he was very passionate about it.
No, I did that, but he definitely was a part of it. I mean, he
A
was
part
very
of
much
it.
involved. So what had happened in 2002, I mean, I never thought we'll be authors so early in our life. There's a publishing house called Rolly Books, and they mainly publish a lot of coffee table books. You must have seen on very fancy books they've done, Jaipur, Agra, this and that. And they started a series called Family Pride series, where the concept was that sons and daughters would have their kind of story about their father's lives. So I think it was my brother and me, we wrote the first book on my father. And then I think Shyam Benegalji's daughter wrote a book. Then M.S. Subbulakshmiji's, I think, granddaughter or daughter wrote a book. So, you know, it was a challenging thing to do. Because, you know, while having the reverence for your father and guru, you did have to touch upon a few subjects, you know, which were part of his life and perhaps were not spoken about earlier. but as sons we couldn't kind of skip certain chapters. So that book was received well. We started getting a author's discount very early in life. And the second book was more challenging because again HarperCollins said that we want, you know, the younger generation to connect to all the masters who were the pillars in the field. So that book was, I mean, basically about recordings that we grew up listening to. And we started from, you know, the late 1800s, because thanks to HMV, which is now Saregama.
Absolutely.
I mean, they had all those recordings. So we wrote about the recordings, and we were very fortunate to have met some of the musicians. So then we wrote about, you know, our interaction or the way we were blessed by them as well. So, you know, these are the two books we had done, and, well, it just happened, we didn't plan it.
You know, now I know why you spoke. If you were not playing the sarod, you would be in the creative field. Maybe you would be one of the top shots in an ad agency, creating a whole lot of stuff, maybe. I don't know. I'm just kind of giving a wild guess.
I might still, you never know. Yeah. You never know.
So you'll have a musical personality, creating a lot of music in the agencies across. I hope so. It'll be nice. Yes.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah, it's on. Just be louder.
Just kiss the mic and talk. It works better. Trust me. It works better.
Good morning, sir. My name is Diya Mitro, and my question to both of you, sir. In our life, both us face success and failure. So, what will be your suggestion to us then when we face failure? How?
See, failure is very important also initially, because only in a dark night you see stars, right? In a very quiet room you can hear sound. So it's very important to go through that low phase, because in that low phase you actually get to know who are your true well-wishers, what you really have to do. Yeah, so I think, you know, success and failure are part of life. But do not think when you fail, you're failing what people say that you're failing. Like when a movie doesn't do well, it's not because the movie is bad, it's just that it didn't work. Doesn't mean you are bad. It's just the time that is bad. But you have to make yourself so strong that you have to be honest to yourself. People telling you you're good or you're bad should not affect you. You should know that you're good or bad. I've had a lot of concerts where I've played terribly and people say, "Arey, kya bajaya ab?" But I know, and I get embarrassed when they say that, because I know that they're being polite. And a lot of times I played very well according to myself and no one's like even clapped. So you have to know. So, but you have to be graceful about success. Never let that affect you. Never. They say a person who's actually rich, if you take the money out from a person's life, what is their knowledge? Because from this life, I feel there's only one thing you take away is to the other world is knowledge. Everything stays here. So never judge anybody, what they have, what they don't have. See what are they without money. And you will see the real, the truth will come out. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
I think no one knowingly wants to do anything that is not lived up to the best expectation. We all try to give our best. But sometimes it's part of life. You know, I mean, sometimes things work, sometimes things don't work. But I think, yeah, so you should be your own judge. I mean, if you feel that you've done something well, then at some level, you've done your best. If it's received well, great. If it's not, then, you know, you'll do it again and keep doing it. I mean, my father gives me that story of the ant. If you see the ant crossing a brick, it keeps falling, it keeps falling, it keeps falling. And it's even got food on its head, maybe a rice grain or something. But it'll keep trying because it has to cross that hurdle to go to the other side. And that's pretty much what life is, I think.
Thank you, sir.
Let me put it this way. I think life is a bar graph. You know, when it goes up, there will be a down, and when it comes down, there will be an up. So you need to believe in yourself. You need to be consistent. You need never to move backwards. We all fail many a time, but that doesn't stop us to move forward. And I think that's very, very important. So as rightly said, you know, people may tell you you're good or bad. That's different. What you feel about yourself, what you realize within yourself, I think is the most important thing.
You should never lie to yourself.
Absolutely.
Because
absolutely.
One other thing, sorry, my father says that, in Hindi I'll say it, कि जब आप खुद रियाज नहीं करते, when you don't practice, उस दिन आपको पता चलता है कि आपने रियाज नहीं किया. 2 दिन बाद your teacher gets to know कि आपने रियाज नहीं किया, और तीसरे दिन audience gets to know कि आपका रियाज नहीं है. So you cannot lie to yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, when we do radio, and if I'm depressed or if I'm not in a good mood, surprisingly, the listener gets to make it out. However chirpy and peppy I am, listeners say, "Nahi yaar, something is wrong." And they actually give us a call here, "How are you? Are you not well? Is everything okay?" So that's the way, it catches on basically. Yeah. And, okay, to this side, yes. The lady with the red.
Good morning.
My name is Sadaf Hussain, and my question to both of you is, have you been compared to your father, and do you feel you have a great responsibility on your shoulder, carrying his name and, taking the legacy of Sarod forward?
Jesse, initially when I was, in the beginning, I did mention this. So obviously, you're always compared, but you have to take it as in a very positive way. A lot of people keep telling us, that, "Arey, but Ustad ji at your age was this and that." And obviously he is, because these are legends. So when you're born to a legend, it's not necessary that you have to be a legend. You're blessed to be born to a legend, but definitely as I said, that it is our responsibility that we should not be ashamed to the legend. No one should say, "Arey, but he's so bad." They can always say, "No, he's working hard. He's working hard. He's trying." So comparisons are nice because they're comparing you to the best. So the day you get compared to a teacher, you are already in the right path, because who you're being compared to? To the best. But as I said, you should not be the cause of embarrassment.
And adding on to what he said is, you see, usually most sons or daughters of very, big fathers, they get a little rebellious sometimes that, if my father did this, I'm going to completely go the other way. I'm not going to go into this field, or So, when that effort looks like an effort, then that's where I feel that it's the wrong direction. Like for both of us, we are definitely walking in the path that he has shown. And while walking, it's very natural as human beings for you to do newer things, to look at newer avenues. But the source is the same. If I want to suddenly be rebellious and say, "Oh, my father wore kurtas all his life, I'm going to wear only a t-shirt and jeans and start playing Sarod." Now, just to make an identity for myself, that when you're making an effort to make an identity, I think that's where things go wrong. So I think you need to do things with dignity, with grace, and keep walking in the path and, hope to see light someday.
Thank you, sir.
So much being said. Okay, the lady with the mic, introduce yourself and please ask your question.
Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Purbagni Mukherjee. My question is, we are all hearing that your father has inspired you very much. So what was the role of your mother? How she has inspired you both?
Thank God you asked that question, because if my mother was watching this live or something, we would have had it by now. Because
Yeah, I
it's all
think
father.
We are going Facebook Live, so be careful what you say.
Thanks to her. So my mother, Ma is, we call her Ma. So my mother comes from Assam. So thanks to her, we know Assamese and Bengali.
Okay, I'm just curious. Your mom comes from Assam. How did your mom and dad meet?
That's the only place where the Mughals didn't go. So my father was the first one to go there. So my mother, Calcutta. My father, I think. So I was getting to that. My mother is an artist, but was a performing artist. Then 15 years she learned Bharatnatyam in Kalakshetra. Chennai in Kalakshetra. From the great Rukmani Arundale ji. And she comes from a tea planter's family. And that was passion for her. It was not a livelihood. Like for music, for my father, was passion and livelihood. My mother just did it for the love of it. And she stayed in Chennai for 15 years, and she did her dance and all that stuff. And then Abba saw Ma in Calcutta, and without wasting time, which I should learn, but which I haven't.
You're also in Calcutta today.
Right. But we don't have someone dancing here. But anyway. So he went backstage and he told her that, I like you and I want to take this forward. And my mother actually told my father, though at that time also he was Amjad Ali Khan Saab, she said, "Give me 6 months, I got to think about it." So, yeah, so that's how it started. But my mother has a very important, coming back to your question, my mother has a very important role. And I think all mothers do. And I think, I'm not talking about women empowerment here, but it's true. This is my motherland. I mean, I've myself gone to Dakshineshwar and Kali Ghat and all these places I've seen. So I think mother is the first guru. My father always says that your mother is your first guru because she's the one who grooms you up in life. And fathers are busy earning, and the mothers are busy giving values to their kids. So I think, yes, so it's a big role a mother plays.
I think he's covered the whole thing. But yes, I mean, Ma has a very important role in our lives. I think when, being a performing artist, once you've seen what audience adulation is, once you know what being on stage is, to actually get off stage and just do everything in the background, it's not easy. It's really not easy. But she did it by choice. I mean, she did perform a few years till about 84 after we were born. But after and that was for some charity. There was it was a fundraiser for an eye hospital. That's the last time my mother performed, and after the intermission, my father performed. But anyway, I think all those years when my father was touring and traveling, I mean, we're very fortunate that, Ma was there to kind of just show us the path and, guide us through. And even today, I mean, she continues to handle all our performances, and all my father's kurtas, the beautiful kurtas that he wears, it's all Ma. And, and she has many roles. I think women in general have this effortless capacity to play so many roles. First a daughter, then a wife, then a mother-in-law, then a grandmother. I mean, I think sister, yeah. So many roles, and I think, and like he said, I mean, we call our country Bharat Mata, but I hope and pray that one day we are able to respect women the way we should, because I think a lot needs to be done in that aspect even today.
Well,
Talia.
No, I'm just talking about.
I mean it.
No, I think this is truly amazing, and I think this is vital. I know we all are here today, but I think respect means a lot, and to any human being with a lot of humanity is very, very important in life, irrespective of who the person is. Talking about mums, I just want to ask you a small question. How has your wife made your life a little different, or taken care of you, or Molly cuddled you, or made sure that your kurtas were in place, and you were ready? Just bolta, mera kurta kahan hai, joote kahan hai? Is it something like that?
No, I mean, she very silently is always there, but I'm someone who pretty much does my thing. I do my things myself. I mean, I don't trouble her too much.
But you're the ideal husband to any girl.
And I also don't know what she was on when she said yes to me, because I think I'm not an easy person to live with.
But I've seen his wife when he's performing somewhere. Vrat pura din she doesn't eat because Ayaan. So that's a joke between Nima and me all the time.
Well, I think she doesn't have to, but she does it sometimes.
Well, that's for you with lots of love from
her.
That's
very sweet of her.
And good morning, sir. My name is Faiz Ahmed Faizi, and my question is for both of you. How do you actually balance your professional and personal life when you guys go abroad for any concert?
Well, thanks to FaceTime, thanks to WhatsApp calls now, but it's not easy. It's really not easy because, you could be on the road for months at a stretch. You could also be home for a very long period of time. Yeah. So, it's not easy, especially when you're in the creative field, because things are a little vague, and the distances can be long. So it's not easy. It's not easy for the family. It's not easy even for the person who's traveling. But then I guess it's part of life. We try to sometimes work out situations where it's a work come vacation. But otherwise, it's just part of life. What more can I say?
When you're away from your kids for a long time, how do you make up for it? I'm just curious.
Well, you just get them a lot of toys when you come back.
कुछ बोलना है कि भाई से
not married, yeah.
No,
but it could be even when you're like away from us. Don't you miss us?
No, but no, I know I do, but it's just that I'm very driven by work. I'm very passionate about my work, and I feel that God's been so kind that, you know, we get an opportunity, I get an opportunity to perform where there's so many other musicians, so much more talented and much, much better and more deserving. That's why whenever I get any opportunity to perform, I try and give my best. I don't know how well that happens, but I give my all that I have in me. So for me, it's... So I don't miss family. I get homesick, yeah, but I know that my mother and father will be more happy to see me doing well than see me in front of them.
So when you get homesick, what do you do? I mean, I'm just curious. How do you kind of get over it? You have a lot of, you know, hota na, somebody's chewing on mint or someone's kind of thinking of something or playing the sarod, continuously saying, boss,
I'm not that much of a musician that I do all of that, but I do other things.
Like?
Go out.
Okay, that's it. We'll stick to that now. Go out and...
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, we got one more lady online.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Ankita Mishra. And my question is, since you are Indian classical musicians, in that case, considering the present art and entertainment industry, where the Western music has gained so much of weightage, do you feel that the essence of the Indian classical music is somewhat fading away? Or where do you see the Indian classical music 5 years down the line?
No, see, I'll just start thoda pehle se. So basically, Indian classical music was earlier for the, you know, for the kings and the queens, and there were only 20 people. It was a very intimate gathering. Then, because of the golden era of the greats of, you know, all these stars like Pandit Ravi Shankar ji, my father, Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia ji, all these great maestros made it commercial, where, you know, people started coming, watching them. So you have a Dovalin Music Festival in Calcutta, which I think has 4,000 people. Then Behala, last year I played over here, which had about 3,000-4,000 people. So it's in thousands today. So it's growing. I mean, you all are youngsters. You are, for the last 1 hour, listening to Ayaan behind me, classical musician. So you're still here. So what I'm trying to say is that it's obviously become bigger. But people are very, now people have personal choices. They like some people, they don't like some people. So because tomorrow, if I have an empty hall, it doesn't mean that music is going down. And Ayaan has a full house, doesn't mean that music is going up. It's very simple. If you're doing well in whatever field you do, you will always have a full house. You're a good speaker, you'll have a full house. So we should never blame the medium. A lot of musicians complain, classical music ka future kharab hai future. But क्यों खराब है? क्योंकि आपका hall खाली है इसलिए. But then you see other musicians, their hall is full. So what I'm trying to say to you, never blame the medium. And music is only growing. It's something, it's like a river. It's been there. And classical music is like Sanskrit. Many people don't know about Sanskrit because it's very classy. But it's our culture. So it's sushi, not butter chicken. So it's for a selective audience. I'm not sounding snobbish, I hope. I'm just saying.
No, I think he's covered it all. And like he rightly said, this was an intimate art form. I mean, first for royalty, then for maybe, you know, aristocrats and things like that. And then it went out to concert halls only, I think, in the late 50s, early 60s. And today, thank God that even college festivals, in fact, IIM, Ahmedabad, IIT, they continue to have a classical night. That itself says that, you know, there is love and warmth for this medium. But the thing is, what is also happening, we tend to compare everything these days to Bollywood. And that's not a right comparison because, you know, the medium of Bollywood is so on the face and has become quite obsessive now, I mean, frankly speaking. But now you're seeing a new chapter of Indian classical music where social media is also playing a very big role. You have so much content easily available on social media today. So that's why when I hear younger artists today, everyone is playing at a very good level because they're getting so much ready-made content available online. But having said that, I think social media also has its negative at some level on classical musicians because I think, you know, many young musicians, they tend to take their number of likes and hits little too seriously. Because frankly speaking, you could have Bhimsenji at 1,000 likes and some young kid who's just started at some 1 million likes. Now that doesn't say anything, you see. It doesn't make him a greater artist. It won't even get him more work. But having said that, it's a long journey, and I'm very positive and hopeful about the future. And all of you, I hope you continue listening to classical music. At least continue listening to the two of us. I'll be happy.
Well, I'm sure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. What I'm going to do is, there are a lot of people in the audience. We're just going to take a couple of questions. We don't have time to take too many questions. So would anybody like to ask a question from the audience? The gentleman at the back who's... do we have a mic for them? The gentleman at the back, the first guy who raised his hand, yes. The gentleman at the back, yes. We'll take all one by one. Kindly give your name and ask the question.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone present here.
Morning.
My name is...
Kiss the mic and talk. It'll sound louder. Yeah, thanks.
My name is Samrat De. I am from Techno India. So my question is not regarding your life, but what you said. Sitting here, what you said. I am asking that you said, as Jimmy sir said, that he wanted to be in the army. As Amaan said that he wanted to fly high and to be a pilot. So I just want to ask that what went wrong? Like, it's like...
Why didn't you? I failed in maths many times. So वहीं खराब हो गया सारा कुछ.
No, sir, what I am asking is like, was that dream like, no, this won't work. Like, I think I should shift from this thing to something else. So was it like this? And suppose like at this stage, even we feel sometimes that, no, this is not working out and we should shift from this thing to that. So as everyone say, like you need a time, and after that, if you think about that thing, it's not working. Like at right moment, you need to take the right step. So
I understand what you're asking. So basically you're saying if there's a nice shift, I mean, if you want to do something where your heart is, more than the mind. Is that what you're asking? You want to change a profession, you're saying? See, in my case, I don't have a backup plan because I didn't finish college. So I'm better with the blue-collar job. So, but in your case, as you said, if you have education and if you're not enjoying what you're doing, I think you should switch to something. Anybody should. You should, because when you, I think the last days of our lives, it should always be like, I didn't waste time. I did what I wanted to do. I did not do because people wanted me to do. Because people will always ask you to do something what they think is right. But end of the day, what makes you happy, end of the day, you should do that always.
It should be passion driven, like I said earlier. I mean, if there's no passion, then there's an issue somewhere.
You know, I wanted to be in the army when I was a toddler. That time you see all these things and you want to be that tough guy. I came from a business family. My love for music started when I was in class 6, 7. And it just went up. I started my DJing career with 6 audio cassettes. So it's just you need to be passionate about what you do, passionate about what you do. And I think that's what's important.
अच्छा बैठ तो जाओ खड़े क्यों आप बैठे?
Okay, we have 1 or 2 people. Oh, now a lot of people. This gentleman in the glasses, he had raised his hand second. I just need help to see the hands. It's very difficult to.
I am Professor S.K. Chakraborty.
Namaskar.
Namaskar, sir.
You see, we have heard you playing in Doverland Conference, and we have heard Ustad Amjad Ali Khan also. My question is that, how do you enjoy playing in Kolkata compared to other places in India and world? And that is one question. Second, we find at this juncture, there is a gap. There is a gap between, you see, good standard, you see.
So, to mic to close.
Classical musician nowadays, after, say, you see, Jhori Prasad Chaurasia or Bhimsen Joshi, there's a big gap. Somebody is coming up, say, like Kaushiki, yourself. But the standard of those days and now, there's a big gap. And maybe for this gap, there is a wane in popularity in classical music at this juncture. And you were already asked about down the line what is the future of classical music. You said it is bright. But considering this point, what would be your response to it? Thank you.
I'll answer the second one. You answer the first one.
So first question, which is simpler, I'll answer that. Bado Bhai will answer the second one. So I think Calcutta is very special. We are very grateful, I think, as artists to Bengal and Maharashtra and also all the states in the south for, these are actually musical capitals of India. I think Calcutta, even today, when any musician comes to perform,
Chandanagar, Shantiniketan,
any musician when they come to Bengal to perform, there is a special energy, and we've been fortunate to have gone to even the interiors, Asansol, Chandanagar, Barakpur, Kharagpur, where else? Goria, and Behala. We couldn't come this year. Shantiniketan. So we've been very blessed since a young age, and. But it's a very inspiring audience here, and I think it makes you want to be better every time you come.
Also, we've heard a lot of stories बचपन में कि some artist is playing और किसी ने पीछे से balcony से चीखा, दादा की कोच्छो एक तो बॉन दिया बजाओ. So that is like, अरे ये होगा. So honestly, in Bengal and all, I get a bit scared कि कभी वैसा आवाज ना आ जाए कभी. But that will only happen because that happens out of love, not that someone's...
एक बार ऐसा भी इंसिडेंट था कि balcony से आवाज आई कि एक तो मोने दिए बजान. So the artist looked up and he admitted, he said, আমি কিছু response পাচ্ছি না. तो फिर जवाब आया, responser काज করুন.
So I think that is not that people are being rude or malicious. It's just that you criticize people is when you love those people. You have expectations. So Bengal especially get very connected to an artist. They get connected. और जो खतरा वाला question जो second वाला है sir, वो ये है कि आपका what you said is completely correct, that there is this huge gap. Obviously you don't have people like Pandit Hari Prasad Chaurasia ji और साथ Amjad Ali Khan साहब और Pandit Ravi Shankar ji और Shiv Kumar Sharma ji and all these great. I don't know sir how well our generation, the 30 generation will take it. But unfortunately, there has been a gap in the middle. Because I always say ghazals have gone down is not because ghazal has gone down. The performer of ghazals after Jagjit Singh ji and Mehndi Hassan and all these people are not performing very well. As you said, music obviously has gone slightly down. Is obviously there has been a gap of 20 years where in the middle section people were not even maybe the way music should attract people. Maybe we are not being able to do that also.
Like you said, not to blame the medium.
Not to blame the medium. I think as performers, Kaushiki ka aapne naam liya. She's a very dear friend and she's one of the best musicians we have in our generation. There's a lot of people. Kaushiki is there. Purbayan Bhai from Calcutta is here. Then there's Rashid Khasab. There's so many like flooded with talent. But I think we have to work more hard so that we can connect a bridge with the audience and not blame the audience that they're not coming for concerts.
You see, every classical musician should know that they should not be the cause of humiliation of classical music. Because no shastra or book says how classical music should be presented. It's an oral tradition. So you need to, earlier on there used to be 3-minute recordings. And in 3 minutes, those geniuses did all the magic, So I think duration, all these things, presentation, everything has to be considered and kept in mind.
Well, thank you. Last question. There was one lady out there who asked... Yes. This, ladies and gentlemen, will be the last question. Thank you so much.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, Amaan sir and sir. I have a question like your ancestors, your father were were from music background, right? So while you're growing up, didn't they ever ask you like, Ayaan, Amaan, what do you want to become? Ever?
They matlab nahi, father.
Your mom and dad, I mean.
No, I think as I said, मैं शुरू में आपको मैंने आप please sit down मैं बता दूँ. So in what I told you that I think I think I saw what they dreamt for me, and what gives me immense pleasure is to see them happy. So for me, if somebody says what's your aim in life, I would say to see my parents happy, because if that happens, everything falls in place. Because everything I have today, everything, coming here, getting all the love from all of you, getting packed houses most of the time, everything is just because of them. And I don't want to sound very diabetic, but it's true. So I want them to be happy with whatever I do. So when I was very young, I recognized what gives them happiness. And also I enjoy music. I love music. I trip on music. I completely forget who I am as a person when I'm on stage. I'm performing. So yes, I'm thankful to them that they introduced me to this beautiful art form. And I think if I was not a musician, I would have maybe been a failure in anything else, I guess.
You see, it was very categorically conveyed, even if not through words, about what music means to the family. And children can absorb. I think now that I see my kids growing up, I think constantly children are absorbing anything that they hear, listen, see. And my father always said to us that, music is the greatest wealth that he has. And perhaps the only wealth at many times, he's conveyed that. And he says that when the world might not be with you, your music will. So it's something within you, so make it your best friend, make it your companion, make it your oxygen, So it was like that, and we were very fortunate. What more can I say? I thank God for all His mercies, and like Amaan bhai said, I mean, obviously, if I was not born to my father or to my parents, I don't know what I would have done. I don't know where I would have been, and I don't know whether I would have really excelled in anything else, because I don't know better. This is all we knew, and all we know. So
I guess the mantra is just be humble for all of you. Be humble, do not take yourself seriously, enjoy life, and be respectful to elders and be kind to youngsters. Simple.
Beautiful way. Truly, this is a beautiful way of putting just a couple of words across. And I really appreciated one thing which Amaan said, is make your parents happy. And when I look back and when I look into my career, when I look into a lot of people who talk to me, guys, at some point of time, we do become selfish. Let's not, because our parents have brought us up. They have really guided us, held that finger and made us walk. Respect elders, respect parents, live your dream. Feel happy about it. You don't have to struggle in life if you're passionate about something. It'll come as you go up. And the problem today, now these days is, I had someone coming to the radio station, young guy, wanted to become an RJ. First thing he asked me, okay, how much am I going to get? How fast will I become a senior RJ? You don't run up the ladder. You climb up the ladder slowly. And that is a sure shot to success. Slow and steady wins the race. It's been a beautiful morning, and I'd like to thank Ayaan and Amaan. It's been wonderful. And before we actually end this session, a couple of final words which you just now ended with also. Anything in your mind would you like to share with the beautiful audience we have here? Any final words would you like to express? Because you've seen so much across the world.
We've been talking about parents, and just again one thing I'll add, that as kids, we have to understand that we have a lot to look forward to. Because parents have given us their youth to bring us up. So they don't have much to look forward to. So we should always look back and, keep them with us and respect them, because that will happen to you also one day. And I think this whole concept of Shiv Parvati, of, this whole thing of, the male god, female god, it's your parents, because your parents tell you who you are, what religion you belong to, what is good, what is bad. And then we grow up. I mean, I've also done that. Then we try and teach our parents, no, you're wrong. I think this is right. It's good. You have opinions, fantastic. But never let them feel that they are wrong. Even if they're wrong, make them feel that, they're still there. They are the father,
absolutely.
Mother.
The closeness to heart is very important.
I won't give closing words because I think we've spoken enough. I'll just sing something.
Oh, amazing. Amazing.
Dear no, dear no, dear no, dear no ra no de re na dha da ma ga ma da ni sa. थोड़ा रिवर्ब डाल दो भाई. Both mics. Sa da na 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 re ga ma ga re sa di re ne no dem ta na 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 dem ta na 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 dem mangna more tore kadam ख्वाजा मोरे करियो करम अंगना मोरे तोरे कदम ख्वाजा मोरे करियो करम.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, a big hand to the duo. We do not want you to get off stage right now because a small little appreciation token right here. Ladies and gentlemen, that clapping was a little short. Could we have a huge clap for this amazing duo out here, Ayaan and Amaan?
Thank you, Mr. Amaan Ali Bangash and Mr. Ayaan Ali Bangash, for bringing the first session to such a beautiful end and sharing your thoughts. We kindly request Mr. Jimmy Tangree to present mementos to Mr. Amaan Ali Bangash and Mr. Ayaan Ali Bangash. Thank you. I will now request Professor Ashok Kumar Banerjee to present a memento to Mr. Jimmy Tangree for moderating the session so beautifully.